Hey everyone, how's it going? I am iamxeracon here, and I am back. Yeah. So this is gonna be a quick video. You've all probably heard about this, and you've already probably watched all the videos and stuff. You probably already know what you're going to do, but I'm just gonna toss in my 2 cents, being that this is something that is going to be a great impact upon the gaming community. So I just wanted to, express my opinions about this and how I feel about it. So yesterday the Xbox Scorpio specs were revealed to us, and it's pretty interesting, I guess. As we already know, it is the most powerful console ever so far, and that's something. I mean that's what, like, almost, I guess you could say, an almost lower rig PC, maybe. I guess. I mean, I don't game on PC, but I know that you could probably, maybe that's a lower end rig. I don't know. Um, and yeah, so we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what's if even the Scorpio is, it's like still like just like a development name, sort of like how the NX was just the development name for the Switch until it was actually revealed. So who knows? It could be called the Xbox something something. We don't know yet. That'll be have to we'll just have to wait until June. Uh, yeah. So what do I think about this? It's cool. It's really, I think this is really going to impact the future of consoles, because now with this console, I guess now you could say that Sony is really going to have to, I guess, up their game when they make the PlayStation 5. Um, Nintendo's gonna do Nintendo, so I would really want, hold my breath thinking that they're gonna try and make some sort of 4K rig. Um, yeah, I mean, shoot, I mean, the Switch just came out anyway, so I don't even think Nintendo's gonna do like some sort of incremental thing. I mean, it's possible they could do something. I know that, of course, they've done that with their handhelds. They've had their incremental stuff, like, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, and then the Boy Advance SP with like the extra backlights and stuff, just the brightness. Then with the DS, you had the regular DS, then you had the DS Lite, then you had the DSi. Oh wait, and I even forgot about the Game Boy Micro, which was like a smaller version of the Game Boy Advance. Um, and then there's also, you have the 3DS, the 3DS XL, new 3DS, new 3DS XL. It's just like crazy with their handheld. So if the Switch is a success and becomes like the replacement of their handhelds, then it's possible that there could be some sort of maybe, I don't know. I mean, a while back I heard something about Nvidia having something about, like, something about them getting like a 1080 mobile, something like that, I think, chip. And if they do something like that, it could really, I'm not sure if it's like something that could be like in a dock, so you put the Switch in the dock, and boom, you get like better performance out of the games. I don't know what that could mean. So only time will tell. Maybe Nintendo will do something like incremental, but I don't know. Uh, Personally, I feel with something this big of a jump, it should be considered a ninth gen console. I don't think you can think of this as an incremental jump, because you have Xbox One, then you have the Xbox One S. So for them to say that this is another incremental jump is kind of bizarre, because what are you going to do when your ninth gen console does come out? Um, and so I yeah, I think this is really their ninth console. And if it is their ninth console, then they're really gonna have to do something at E3 to convince people to get it. Now, I know that they've said that this is a premium console for premium gamers, and by that, people who are tech heads, and so they know their stuff, and they really want to have, a better experience for their consoles. And, you know, or then it's also for people who think they know their stuff and really just like all about the numbers and stuff, and maybe they really can't even tell if there's something improvement, but because people say it's better, they actually think they know what they're talking about. Um, I mean, so yeah, then you have those people. I guess that's what it would appeal to. But uh, so far, there are no games for it, or at least exclusively. So if you have like an Xbox One S, then there's really no need for you to get a Scorpio if there are no games going that are going to be coming for it, unless like there are some games that are coming along, and then maybe E3, hey, we have some exclusive games for it, even though they sort of said that they wouldn't do that. But if they don't put exclusive games, then for the people who are sort of like having my mentality, think, hey, why should I get this new console when I already have that stuff. So that doesn't really make sense to me. So maybe they'll do something, and that would be pretty good for them, because they could really, you know, use some new exclusives. Um, and I mean, personally speaking, I don't have an Xbox. There aren't too many games that would actually appeal for me to get one. I mean, I know that the only games that really would entice me, that do entice me, are Halo, and I played some of Recore one time. So those two games would entice me. So, like, although to be more specific, it's mostly like maybe if I had like the Halo original, like the trilogy remastered, because those were the crown jewel. Those were that was Halo at its peak. So those three games, and like I said, played some Recore. Even though it's been a bit of a mixed bag, I would like to try Quantum Break because I think the premise sounds pretty interesting. Something like two different people have time abilities and they sort of like fight each other. So I think that's a pretty cool premise. So that would be a game that I would like to play. But like I said, other than those uh, three games or three franchises, the Xbox brand doesn't necessarily entice me. There's nothing really that would draw me towards to play their games. Uh, so yeah, but other than that, I still wish Microsoft the best for this. And only time will tell with what's gonna happen with them. And you know, E3 is going to be a very big thing this year. I think it's gonna be bigger. It's definitely gonna be bigger than what it was last year. I think because now you have the Switch, and who knows what cards Nintendo's holding up to their chest right now. Because there could be a lot of things that they're not even telling us. So I'm really hoping that that these companies will actually have something for fans to get excited about, and that we will continue to support their brand. I mean, I mean, I don't have anything against Sony by any means. I mean, I don't. I only have like the original PlayStation 1 that I got as like a gift for Christmas last year, and I think it's a pretty good system. I mean, I've played PlayStation, throughout my life through other people that I've known. So I'm familiar with PlayStation and their stuff. I think PlayStation's a pretty good, console. Only thing though is the fact that, which is sort of like a thing I have against these more modern consoles, the fact that when I play a game, I have to download a portion of the content onto the console itself in order to, play it, so that way it reads faster. But that means only a certain number of games will actually fit onto the hard drive, which means if I want to play another game, I would have to delete that information, and then, if I want to come back to it, I have to re-download it again, and that's just, uh, I'm not a fan of that. So, which is sort of like why I guess you could say the Switch enticed me because of the cartridges, and hopefully with the scare that they had with the Lego City, that won't occur. It could, but I'm really hoping it won't. So that's something I would, that's why I'm sort of like enticed towards the Switch. In fact, I even like bought Has Been Heroes today, even though I don't have like a Switch yet, but because of the fact that unfortunately, well, GameStop's the only place where you can actually get a physical copy of this game. So I said, before something happens like a Xenoblade Chronicles and and it becomes like rare and hard to find, I'm picking up my copy now. So I'll have this ready for whenever I get my Switch. And I played like some of it at the Switch event, and I thought it was pretty good. It was a bit hard, but maybe because I was completely used to like the gameplay, but it seemed pretty good and interesting. But I am completely going off topic because I'm supposed to be talking about the Xbox right now. Overall, I think this is really going to impact our gaming community because of what it can do. Now, the problem is though is the fact that Microsoft now has to make sure that well, this is actually something I'm concerned about is the fact that developers won't actually utilize the full capabilities of the Scorpio, outside of maybe saying like we're gonna patch these games to make them 4K and stuff. But what I mean is the fact that they are going to they're supposed to be developing games also for the regular Xbox One, and so that means that this Xbox One's gonna be holding back the Scorpio from its true potential, which is why I really didn't like the fact that we've had these uh, mid-gen consoles, because they've been holding back. I think in a way they hold back what the original consoles could actually do. Even though they've had their limits, they still had their potential. Because if you look back to like older consoles like PS2, Xbox One, GameCube, and like I guess around that time, at launch and stuff, it takes over a year, maybe even maybe more than 3 years before a console can truly reach its full potential. Because you have the games that come out at launch, and then sure, these are good looking games, but the console can probably or most likely will do so much more than what they're actually showing. Like for example, you know, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. This, yes, it's a launch game, but also remember it was sort of port of the Wii U that that also they didn't really have too much time to work on this to port it over. So this isn't really a good demonstration of the Switch's full potential. I mean, yes, you get a taste of what it can do, but we really don't know the full capabilities of the Switch yet, and like how far we can push it. We need that time. Look at like Jack and Daxter on the PlayStation 2. Look at the earlier versions and look at the later games for it. They'll look better because the developers have more time to get more familiar with the console, and they were actually able to bring out the full potential and push the PlayStation to its limits. And also, I guess you'd say with the Halo, look at Halo 1 and look at Halo 3 and look at the changes that were implemented because they were able to push the console to its full potential, which is why I really feel like that sort of like what's the big drawback from these mid console increases, because the fact that they really took away from how far we could really push those consoles in terms of power. I mean, if Scalebound for wasn't canceled, we could probably truly push the Xbox One to its full potential. And like I said, sure, maybe it reached its limit, but we would have actually been able to see its full potential and what it could truly do. And it's a shame though. We had the Xbox One S and the PS4 Pro, and I really didn't condone either one of those because like I said, they're just like here to make the games look prettier and maybe run a little smoother. But other than that, that's about it. If you already have a PS4, I wouldn't get a PS4 Pro, and likewise if I had an Xbox One, I wouldn't get an Xbox One S. And even now, if I have an Xbox One S and the Scorpio comes out and there's no games, I wouldn't get a Scorpio because what's the point? So yeah, that's pretty much about it. But yeah, let me know about how you all feel about the Scorpio. Will you be getting one? Do you think it's enticing you? Do you think this will impact the gaming community, especially like with consoles as a whole? What impacts do you think it will make? Um, Also, let me know how you felt about the incremental changes in consoles as well. And also, this is also one of I think 3 videos that I'm uploading today. So check out the other videos, and also let me know your thoughts about those videos as well. So until next time, everyone, I am Xeracon signing out. Have a good one.